Welcome to Pam Jammer's Magical Tales. We post new stories every week, so be sure to subscribe, like, and share to stay updated. If you'd like to support the channel, see sequels, vote on upcoming stories, or even request a custom tale, check out my Patreon. Every bit of support helps bring more magical stories to life. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. Mother's Orders Part 1. Chapter 1, When the Levy Breaks. The lights in the Whitfield estate were dim, but the tension was fluorescent. Lee's heels clicked like a metronome down the marble hallway as she returned from what should have been the most important PR event of her year, a Fortune magazine shoot profiling the families behind the future. Instead of posing beside her only son in coordinated navy and charcoal, she had smiled alone. Smiled so hard her face hurt. Now, with her jaw still tight and her scarf still pinned, she opened Jason's bedroom door without knocking. He was home. Of course he was. Still in his Dungeons and Dragons cloak, eyeliner smudged, a half-finished Coca-Cola on his desk beside a binder labeled Satan's Cauldron, Session 3. Dice scattered across the floor like shrapnel. His room smelled like a moldy laundry basket. Lee stepped inside, every syllable clenched before she even spoke. "You selfish little bastard." Jason barely looked up from his character sheet. "Forget how to knock. You humiliated me." Her voice shook. "You humiliated this family. That shoot was national. Do you understand what that means? It was Fortune." He stood and yawned theatrically. "Oh, Fortune. Wow. That was your public introduction to the business. To your legacy. All you had to do was show up." "You mean all I had to do was dress like an empty suit and pretend I care about your capitalist empire? You're 18. You don't even know what you're saying." "No, I do." He stepped closer, his voice rising. "You're not strong, Mom. You're just rich. You're a Reagan-worshipping corporate ghoul who drove Dad away." Lee lifted her hand like she might slap him, but froze. Jason didn't flinch. He just stared back with his eyeliner-smudged smugness. And then she lowered her hand, smoothed her jacket, took a breath, and looked at him in a way she hadn't in years. Not like a child. Not like a son. But like a problem to be solved. "You know what?" she said, voice suddenly calm. "I've decided you're not well." Jason blinked. "Excuse me?" "Something is wrong with you. Deeply wrong." He scoffed. "Oh, right. I forgot. You always call people wrong when people don't agree with you." But she wasn't listening to his words anymore. She was already calculating. Already planning. She stepped toward the door, composed now, completely still. "Go ahead. Paint your nails. Dress like a vampire. Say nasty things to your mother. But just remember." She looked back, eyes like steel under glass. "You're just a kid playing dress-up, and I'm a well-respected millionaire." Then she left, the door clicking gently behind her. Jason laughed. And yet, somewhere under the sarcasm, under the boots and eyeliner, something coiled in his stomach. Because she hadn't shouted. She hadn't slammed the door. She had decided something. And Jason Whitfield had no idea what it was. Chapter 2, Plucked. Jason woke late. The blackout curtains still blanketed the room in shadow, and the air smelled like incense and yesterday's chili fries. Somewhere in the house, the staff must have been moving. He could hear distant clinks of dishes, muted steps. His eyes drifted to the posters, Ozzy Osbourne, Hellraiser, Metallica, and a hand-painted mural of a dungeon master sitting on a throne of skulls. A small act of war, all of it. Decor designed to make his mother's skin crawl. He stretched, scratched the back of his neck, and yawned. Still half asleep. And then the door opened. No knock. No call. Just opened. 5 women walked into his room in a tight, practiced formation. One stood out, older, impeccably dressed, with a pink cardigan and a haircut that had never known frizz. Her smile was honeyed, like saccharin poured over rot. The others wore crisp white uniforms, strong-boned, compact, with no-nonsense hair and neutral expressions. One of them carried a straitjacket. Jason sat up fast. What the hell is this? The cardigan woman smiled wider. Good morning, Jason. I'm Ms. Penley. I'm here from the Whitfield Center for Behavioral Wellness. We've come for your evaluation. His heart jackhammered. My what? She walked casually toward the desk, glancing over his room as if inspecting a storage unit. So many. Angry posters. Lemons. Chains. Spikes. This doesn't look like a healthy space for a young man, does it? Where's my mom? Your mother is very concerned. She said you've been exhibiting signs of psychotic behavior. Violent ideation. Occult fixation. She called us last night. Jason stood up and backed toward the wall. No. No, no, no. Don't come near me. The nurses moved subtly, deliberately, not threatening, just closing ranks. Like they knew how this went. Stay back, Jason snapped, panic rising. I swear to God, I'll fight you. Miss Penley kept smiling. We don't want a fight, Jason. This is just a little checkup. A safety assessment. Your mother was worried for your mental health. And honestly. She glanced toward the wall where a painted devil brandished a scythe. I can see why. She's the crazy one, Jason shouted. This is all because I didn't go to her stupid photo shoot. That's it. This is revenge. Mom, he shouted. Mom, what is this? Mom. Nothing. Still no answer from down the hall. No staff. No mom. Just the slow steps of the nurses moving in. They were almost around him now. Encircling. Penley still smiling, like a teacher watching a toddler throw a tantrum. Jason lunged toward the door, but a nurse caught his arm. Another grabbed his leg. He kicked, flailed, shouting curses, twisting. Don't touch me. I'll get off. He bit at one of them. Teeth catching skin. She grunted, pulled back. Penley's smile didn't falter. Well, she said, with a sharpness that cut through the room like a scalpel. We'll have none of that. A hand on his neck. A sharp pinch. The sting of something cold sliding into his skin. Jason screamed, but it was slurred. Already falling. Already unraveling. The last thing he saw was Penley adjusting the sleeves of her cardigan. You're in good hands now, dear. You'll feel so much better once you're clean and quiet. Darkness swallowed him whole. Chapter 3, Intake. He came to with a buzz behind his eyes. Was it morning? The air was cool. His mouth. Thick. He couldn't move his tongue. Something was in the way. Soft but firm, like a wedge. He tried to spit, but it didn't go anywhere. What the hell? He blinked slowly. Everything pulsed. Blurred edges, 2 bright lights. White ceiling tiles. Pale curtains. A figure moving across the room. A girl. Or a woman, maybe. Young, definitely. Red curls pinned back. Mint green scrubs. Braces. She hummed softly under her breath, folding something on a metal tray. She glanced over and smiled, soft, awkward, a little too big. When their eyes met, she blushed and looked down fast, like she'd been caught staring. Jason tried to speak. It came out as a muffled groan behind the mouthguard. Why can't I talk? His arms wouldn't move. His legs were spread. He was naked. The girl turned back toward him and gave a small wave. Hi there. I'm Nurse Jennifer. You're okay. Her voice was quiet. Midwest sweet. A little nasal. Like the girl who sat in front of you in biology. You're just coming out of sedation. I'm gonna get you all cleaned up and settled, okay? He tried to shake his head. His limbs were strapped down, soft bands around wrists and thighs. We had to remove your old outfit, it wasn't suitable for the environment. She glanced at his cloak in a disposal bin. Sorry about the cape. It had some concerning symbols. She opened a package of wipes and a large medical diaper. She kept her voice calm, practiced. We're going to start you on the standard protection. Dr. Penley says it's just until the evaluation's complete. Jason jerked uselessly against the restraints. No. No, no, no. But it's important you get used to it. You may have to keep wearing them as part of your treatment. She began wiping him gently with a damp cloth. The scent was babyish, powder and alcohol. There. You've got really nice eyes. Hope you don't mind me saying. Jason made a low sound behind the gag. Jennifer blushed again and kept wiping. Then she paused. Tilted her head slightly. Oh. Jason felt it before she reacted. A twitch. An involuntary swell. The traitorous confusion of sedation and panic. His face flushed red. Jennifer looked away quickly, her cheeks blooming. Totally normal, she said, too fast. Sedation does weird things. It's okay. Just ignore it. She worked quietly. He couldn't see much, just the ceiling, her curls, the soft rustling. The tapes sealed with a muted rip and press. Then she drew a pale blue hospital sheet over him, tucked at the sides. Okay. All done with that. He was too dazed to scream, but his fingers clenched into fists. Jennifer stood at his side and looked down, a little hesitant. I'm really sorry you had to come in like this. I heard you bit one of the intake nurses. She blushed and gave a small smile. That's Robin. She's kind of a jerk, so, honestly I wouldn't feel too bad. She trailed off. Tucked a loose curl behind her ear. Then she reached for a small bottle on the tray and dabbed it on a cotton pad. Leaned in again. This is just to get the rest of the makeup off. Jason's face twitched as she gently cleaned the smudged remnants of eyeliner. There. Clean and quiet, she whispered, almost like a lullaby. You'll be okay. She took a step back and looked around the room. Checked a few things on a chart. Then gathered her tray and headed toward the door. Jason tried to speak again. It came out muffled and weak. Jennifer hesitated. Looked back once more. Her smile returned, gentle and unsure. Bye. Jason. The light dimmed as she left. The door clicked. Then another sound, the lock. Jason lay still. Strapped down. Gagged. Diapered. In a room with padded walls and no windows. Chapter 4, Orientation. Jason was fully awake now. Not foggy. Not drifting. Just awake. And wet. The realization came slowly at first, just a sensation of warmth and heaviness between his legs. But once noticed, it was impossible to forget. The diaper clung to his skin beneath the hospital sheet, soaked and sagging slightly. He hadn't even known it happened. His arms were still strapped at his sides. His ankles fastened lightly to the corners of the bed. The pacifier gag remained in place, soft and humiliating, its pastel strap fastened securely behind his head. The door opened with a soft click. Miss Penley entered with the calm confidence of a woman inspecting her roses. She wore a pale pink cardigan, matching skirt, sensible shoes. Her bun was flawless. Her smile was relentless. She carried a clipboard. Closed the door behind her with quiet care. "Good morning, Jason," she said cheerily, as though greeting a boy in Sunday school. Or, I suppose I should say, good evening. You've had quite a long nap. She walked to the side of his bed, folded her hands over the clipboard, and looked down at him with a wicked smile. Now, I'm sure you're starting to piece things together. But let me help clarify, since I know this must all be very confusing for a young man in your condition. She didn't wait for a response. She knew he couldn't have won. You are currently a patient at the Whitfield Center for Behavioral Wellness. You were admitted under an emergency wellness hold authorized by your mother, my dear friend, Lee Whitfield. I've known your mother for years. Her family name is on the building. She's a remarkable woman. Brave. Decisive. Unafraid to do what's necessary, even when it's hard. She gave him a wink. I'm sure that runs in the family. Somewhere. She moved to the foot of the bed, examining one of the restraints. Tight, but not painful. Now, let's talk about why you're here. She flipped a page on her clipboard, scanning it like she was reading from a brunch menu. Your presenting profile includes dissociative identity patterning, regressive fantasy immersion, persistent oppositional defiance, sexual and symbolic dysregulation, intermittent verbal aggression, emotional dependency structuring, non-normative sensory preferences. She looked up with a smile that practically glowed. Now, you may not recognize all those terms. That's perfectly normal. Most patients in the early stabilization phase are a little confused. She took a few small, precise steps around the bed. Your admission is currently classified as protective observation. That means our team will be monitoring you closely while we conduct an extended behavioral assessment. There is no formal treatment plan yet. That comes after full evaluation. Our job for now is simply to keep you safe while we determine the appropriate level of care. She leaned closer, lowering her voice to a conspiratorial whisper. Your mother has expressed her full confidence in our discretion. She understands that some cases require more time. And more patience. You won't be rushed, Jason. We'll take exactly as long as we need. She folded the clipboard shut with a soft snap. There is no discharge date at this time. You'll remain here indefinitely, pending stabilization and diagnostic consensus. She gave a little nod, as if approving her own phrasing. Isn't that nice? No pressure. No expectations. Just you. And us. She glanced down at the sheet draped over his hips and made a small, performative frown. And goodness, you've already wet yourself, haven't you? Well, that just won't do. Jason flinched. You know, she added, almost offhandedly, Nurse Jennifer mentioned something interesting after your last change. The entire staff is talking about it. She leaned in, voice low and syrupy. She said you seemed a little excited. Jason's face turned scarlet behind the gag. Miss Penley smiled sweetly. It's okay. She thought it was adorable. A shy little boy with a crush on his diaper nurse. Very sweet. She turned to the door and placed her hand on the knob. Let's get Jennifer in here to help you feel dry again. I'm sure you'll be on your best behavior for her this time. Jason's heart pounded. The door opened. Miss Penley's voice called down the hall. Jennifer. Change table in room C, please. The door clicked shut behind her. And the lock engaged. Jason stared at the ceiling, wrists bound, pacifier firm in his mouth, the warmth between his legs impossible to ignore. He couldn't scream. He couldn't leave. He was trapped. Thanks so much for watching today. We hope you enjoyed this week's story and found it relatable, enjoyable, or just a little comforting. Remember, we post new videos every week, so if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. If you found this helpful or know someone who might, don't forget to like the video and share it with your community. Your support means everything and helps us keep creating content just for you. And if you'd like to see sequels, vote on upcoming stories, or even get a custom tale made just for you, check out our Patreon. Every bit of support keeps the magic alive. Until next time, take care and stay true to yourself.